pain in your spine, irritable bowel, Crohn's, colitis, maybe even anxiety or depression. These are all common threads for inflammation. So today we're live talking about a very simple 6-ingredient smoothie that reduces pain by harnessing the basic anti-inflammatory things that we have that are so easy to find in just about every store. I just went to a regular store today, no Whole Foods, no specialties places. This is something I got at Safeway, and you can get things at other very similar, simple grocery stores. So the first thing we're going to start with is a liquid. Some people like water, they don't want the extra calories. What I do say is most people do not need or want juice. That's sugar. Sugar is inflammatory. Even if it's freshly squeezed from juice, we're going to add some fruits. We don't need any extra. Number 2, you don't want dairy. Dairy can be inflammatory. So if you're not going to choose 8 ounces of water, choose a plant-based milk, like oat milk, almond milk, cashew milk, etc. So we're going to start there because that's what my blender calls for, is putting a liquid in first. Then we're going to add some spinach. You could use another leafy green, but I really like spinach for its antioxidant properties, and antioxidants are rich for anti-inflammatory. So I'm going to actually take a big handful and show you how much you can actually get into 1 cup. This is going to be super easy to drink once it's blended up. So I like the benefit of the spinach, plus the iron. It's great for people who need to make sure that they're not anemic. So spinach or another leafy green, but spinach is my favorite. Then we're going to add 2 fruits for a very good reason. Number 1, pineapple. It has an enzyme called bromelain. Bromelain is excellent for antioxidants. I'm going to put 1/2 cup in here. Then we're going to add blueberries. If I could tell you one thing that we should eat every day, it's about 1/2 cup of blueberries because they are so powerful in antioxidants, and that goes a long way with reducing inflammation. So here's 1/2 cup of blueberries. You could use other berries, and they're just not as high in antioxidants as blueberries, but that's okay if you've got a preference and you've got something that is fresh out of your garden, such as raspberries, blackberries, marionberries, then go for it. But I really like blueberries. Then we're going to add our spice. We've got the ginger. You can cut a knob of it, which is very easy, and that's what we're going to do this time, 1/2 inch. Quickly peel that up. Just take off the skin. We're going to then lightly chop if you need it in your blender. My blender doesn't, so I'm just going to put that little square in here. If you don't have fresh ginger, this is what you look for. Something that's nice and plump, not starting to get withered or wrinkled. If you don't have it, then you could substitute powdered, but it's going to be a lot less than this 1/2 inch. Similarly, we're going to go with turmeric. You can either use turmeric root, see when I cut into it, it's bright orange, or you can use a turmeric powder. There's been some concerns lately about turmeric powder that potentially you could get it from somewhere that might have some soil poisoning, or based on where the plant that it is processed. So I have been buying turmeric at a place like Safeway. Super simple. Similarly, I do not need to chop this any further, so there's that. Otherwise, you're looking at 1/2 teaspoon. Others are very concerned, saying, whoa, isn't that what you put in curry? I don't want my smoothie to taste like curry. It is a part of Indian cooking and other curries, but not in this situation. It's not going to give you that flavor. It's actually curcumin, and this is the natural form of curcumin within the turmeric. So that's a fabulous one. So here we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6th is an add-on. You do not, absolutely do not need a sweetener. We've got the sweetness from the pineapple. We've got the sweetness from the blueberry. So I'm going to leave it out. But if you're going to choose a sweetener, try just the tiniest little bit, like maybe 1/2 teaspoon of honey, which can be anti-inflammatory, or you could try maple syrup, but not a sweet sugar. So that's the ingredients right there. I've actually turned this into a 5-ingredient smoothie. So I am going to blend this, so it's going to give it loud here for just a quick second. it if you tell them it's the Incredible Hulk or Kermit or something. But if you like these ingredients, they are fantastic. They're so smooth, so easy to drink. Just pour it into a glass, or you could put it in something that could allow you to take it on the road. Like I drink my smoothie as I drive to work. Here we go. It's fantastic. I love the fresh ginger in there personally. So that is a quick, simple, no holds barred, very powerful anti-inflammatory smoothie. If you need to make some substitutions, here's a couple things that can help shake it up. If you're like, well, it's a little bit thin, what can I do for that? Number one, use some ice cubes, or number two, switch out a frozen blueberry or frozen pineapple for that, and that will help thicken it. Another thing I love to help thicken is avocado. So 1/2 of an avocado, very high in antioxidants, vitamin E, helps with anti-inflammation. So that's also nice. It gives a nice mouthfeel, a little bit thicker smoothie, and maybe that gets you through to your next meal. The second thing that I like to add on occasion is I will either use matcha powder, which is green tea powder, or I'll change out the water, which is what I use, or the plant-based milk by brewing some green tea and use that for your 8 ounces of liquid, because the green tea has very powerful antioxidants. So this is another punch of that. Another option includes using either chia seeds, here's some white ones, or flaxseed. Chia seeds and flax seeds are both high in omega-3s. Omega-3s are antioxidants, and they have fiber and lignans, which are also responsible for helping keep out inflammation within the gut. Those are super simple. Others are like, well, how much protein does this have? I really want to start my morning with some protein. I personally do start my morning with 20 grams of protein every single morning, and it's in the form of my smoothie. But I wanted to make this quick and simple where you don't have any add-ons. I personally go for a plant-based protein. Garden of Life Raw is what I like because it's clean, it's complete protein. This is actually 22 grams of protein in 1 scoop. So that can be in this same thing. You would just add the 1 scoop to the blender before you blended it, and there you've got the protein. It's a little bit thicker, and you've got all of the antioxidants. And the other option is, whoa, I'm way too busy. I don't have the time to go to the grocery store. I don't have a blender. My blender broke. I'm traveling. So what do? I actually will take this step further. I won't just get the protein powder. I will use a complete meal replacement, which has 20 grams of protein. It has only 2 grams of fat, and it's got 13 grams of carbs. And this is all plant-based protein. It happens to have those things we're talking about here. It's got a lot of celery, it's got Brussels sprouts, it's got greens, it's got all these things, but it doesn't taste like that. It doesn't taste like I'm drinking a vegetable garden, but it provides me with that. It comes with a pre-measured scoop. You just fill that scoop in a glass. I put mine in a shaker. So that scoop in the shaker, put the lid back on. You have this particular brand, helps keep things nice and smooth. It's got a wire whisk in it, so I shake it up, and that way we don't have any clumps. No clumps at all, and that makes it quite delicious. I've already had a smoothie for the day, so I'm not going to add that many calories with the second meal right now. So those are some options. Super simple, 5 or 6 ingredient, some things to shake it up to keep your palate happy, or to go beyond something that you may be allergic to or trying to avoid, all the way into adding in protein to make it more complete with a plant-based protein, or a complete meal replacement if you don't have the time. Thank you so much for going live with us. Look forward to sharing with you in the next video. If you have any questions, please drop them down in the comments, and you may be the topic of our next video. Take care.